Good Memorial Day, everyone. It's Memorial Day Monday. Meteorologist Johnny Lively to do our forecast of what to expect this morning, sponsored by HB Neal Construction and the rest of the week. You can see on the Tamco Live Doppler radar some showers are moving into the Lake Jackson, Galveston, Bolivar, and High Island area. The rest of the region, especially the further north that you go, we are mostly dry. Where it's not dry, we zoom out, it is fairly active in parts of Mississippi, Alabama, especially along the Florida Peninsula. The state of Florida continues to need some rain, so it's good that they're getting some rain right now. Hopefully they can kind of continue this in the next couple of days. But you can see it's really active far towards the east, pretty quiet here in southeast Texas, but we do expect that we'll see some isolated showers possible today. Coverage is pretty low, though. We get to enjoy our Memorial Monday. Looking at the satellite and radar, you can see that upper level low that's in the East Texas area, sponsored by Tamco Helgard beyond Class 4. Just east of that disturbance is where all that lift and energy and moisture is really concentrated. So eastern Louisiana all the way to Florida Panhandle, that's where you're seeing all the action. And here in southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana, rain coverage is very low. We do have some high moisture content, so we can still get some isolated showers or possibly an isolated storm. But it's going to be very similar to what we saw yesterday on Sunday. It's not going to be enough to disrupt our Memorial Monday plans. Temperatures are in the upper 60s just north of the I-10 corridor. Along the I-10 and south, you are into the low 70s. Down towards the coast, you're into the mid-70s, shaping up to be a pretty nice morning, sponsored by Neutron Electrical Services. Look at our outdoor forecast for this Memorial Day. If you're doing anything outdoor-wise, whether it's hanging out, grilling with the friends and the family, or doing some work or construction-wise, it's looking pretty good today. Rain coverage is very low, just 20% coverage for here in southeast Texas, 30% coverage in southwest Louisiana. Not enough to really disrupt any of our plans today. Very similar to what we saw yesterday on Sunday. We talked about this for quite a while. Let me actually zoom out a little bit. We talked about this rain for a long time. Just want to show you how well this forecast verified. We talked about the potential for some widespread areas getting up to 2 to 4 inches. That verified. And then we said some isolated areas could possibly get up to 6, 8, if not up to 10 inches. And if you zoom in, you can actually see that parts of the Texas coastline, even into Louisiana as well. Those areas in purple, pink, and white, that's up to 8 to 9 to 10 inches of rain. They've seen some isolated spots. But look how many areas across the region you see 2 to 4 inches, pretty common. So the forecast really did verify for last week. I know we talked about it for quite a while, but just wanted to show how much rain we did get in the last 5 to 7 days. Futurecast sponsored by Switch Electric, showing that the rain that we're seeing right now is going to kind of continue. This isolated showers mainly along the coastal areas, Lake Jackson to Galveston, High Island to Sabine Pass. But as we get later into the afternoon hours, this is going to be mostly dry for all of us really today. But we do see a chance for some isolated showers, maybe an isolated storm. You know, it can be in parts of the region, but it's very, very isolated. Just want to show that the coastal areas are this morning. It's very small coverage. And then this afternoon kind of does shift a little bit further to the north. But again, coverage is very low, very similar to what we saw yesterday. Not enough to disrupt our Memorial Day plans that we have outdoors today. And then this evening, we might see some rain kind of sneaking into the D. Ritter and Jasper area. We'll watch that later on this evening into tonight. But other than that, let's dive into the Tuesday forecast, because it's going to be mostly dry once again for southeast Texas. Temperatures getting into the middle to upper 80s fairly quickly, but we have a lot more moisture over there towards New Iberia and Lafayette, so we might see some of this moisture and some of these storms excuse me, I apologize, swing or kind of sling into the southwest Louisiana area. So rain coverage is a little bit higher towards southwest Louisiana on Tuesday versus southeast Texas, where it will be mostly dry. Just wanting to show that the moisture content and the storm content might be a little bit better in Louisiana versus Texas on Tuesday. And if we want to dive into when our best chance of seeing some widespread rain is, that's likely going to be on Wednesday this upcoming week, because all week long we just have some small rain coverage for southeast Texas. But as we get into Wednesday, we'll watch this system moving in from the west that looks to bring us scattered to possibly widespread rain Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon. We'll have a better timeline on that later this evening, getting into Tuesday morning. But just want to show our best potential for some scattered to possibly widespread rain looks to be on Wednesday. So if we zoom out for a second, let me move out of the way. Pretty small daily rain chances pretty much all week long. Our best potential is going to be on Wednesday, possibly Wednesday morning into the afternoon hours, with that 60 to 70% coverage, and then some lingering showers and possibly a couple storms on Thursday, and then just back to our small daily rain chances as we get into Friday and into the weekend. Those temperatures are going to warm up fairly quickly as we get into the end of the week and into the weekend. Here's our temperatures for this Memorial Monday. It's looking pretty good, mostly dry, very similar to what we saw on Sunday. Low to mid 80s, some areas trying to get into the upper 80s down towards the coast, into the low 80s. A little bit better chance for rain over there in southwest Louisiana, but still the coverage is fairly low. Tonight could be a chance for some fog. Upper 60s just north of the I-10 corridor. I-10 and south, you'll be in the 70s, low 70s from Houston to Beaumont pretty much, and then down towards the coast into the middle to upper 70s. Thanks to our sponsor of Silsby Ford, Get You One. And then here we are for our 5 to 7 day forecast for southeast Texas. Pretty dry today and tomorrow. Middle to upper 80s is what we'll be seeing. And then as we get into Wednesday, that's going to be our best chance that we see some scattered to widespread rain. And as we get into the end of the week and into the weekend, upper 80s and less coverage is what we'll be seeing. Southwest Louisiana, just a little bit different because the moisture content's a little bit better over there. Might have to adjust this just a little bit, but still, you can see that rain chances are a little bit higher towards Louisiana versus southeast Texas the next couple of days. And once we get into the end of the week and into the weekend, those middle to upper 80s definitely return. Less coverage of rain, less clouds, so we start warming up. Perfect time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. Thanks for tuning in this Memorial Monday to join us this morning. Thank you all once again. Have a great Monday. Please go download our free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. But other than that, y'all have a great Memorial Monday. I will see y'all again video-wise on Tuesday morning. We'll have more updates throughout the day on Facebook, YouTube, and on our free Gulf Coast app. Have a great Monday. See y'all tomorrow morning.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play and stay connected no matter where you are.